परमगुरुभ्यो सर्वगुरुभ्यो श्रीरंगनाथ शरगोपितिं लक्ष्मी नृसिंहशरेत्प्रणयपात्रं श्रीरंगवीर रघुनाथ शरगोपरुज्यं वेदान्तदेशिकदिनमहं प्रपद्ये श्रीमते श्रीवंशगोपश्रीवेदान्तदेशिकदिन नमः देशिकाय नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So, coming back to Dharma in Mahabharata, we have seen up to Shanti Parvam. Now this is Anushasana Parvam. In this Anushasana Parvam, Yamma, Anushasana Parvam is very famous one for something which you know. Can you guess what it could be? Yamma, Anushasana Parvam is famous for one thing. Do you know? Can you guess what it is?
Parikshit Raja saving Parikshit in that?
All right. Anushasana Parvam gives certain things about karma and the karma phalam. Likewise, tapasya, dana and phalam. Annadana prashamsa, suvarnadana mahima, godana mahatmyam. And what is goloka, godana mahima? Let us start from annadana prashamsa. Of all the things, annadanam is glorified in the scriptures. The conversation started between Yudhishthira and Bhishma. Bhishma Pitamaha is instructing Yudhishthira, Annena sadrusham danam na bhutam na bhivishyati tasmat annam viseshena datumichanti manavaha. In this world, there is no charity greater than giving food to the hungry. There is nothing equal to Annadanam in the past, and there will be nothing in the future that will be equal to Annadanam. Annena sadrusham danam na bhutam na bhivishyati. It was not there in the past, it will never be in the future. That is the reason why people will always try to do Annadanam. Whether they are brahmacharis, grahasthas, vanaprasthas, sannyasis, every one of us live only by food. Because of food only we are living. If somebody wants to attain lot of wealth, Mahabharata says, do Annadaram for the deserving people. For the most deserving people, do Annadanam. Then certainly you will become rich. Likewise, if you get an unexpected guest, treat him as Bhagavan and feed him plenty. Bhagavan will be happy. Anybody who wants to please their forefathers, do Annadanam to the deserving. Your Pitrudevatas will be happy. Do not think to do Annadanam, you require only very religious people or very pious people. You can do Annadanam to anyone because you will be sustaining the soul in a body to go through its karma. Now we have, when a guest comes to our house, we should never make fun of a guest. Even if the person is not highly cultured, if he is hungry, he came to our house, we must feed them. That's what the Dharma says. If you do Annadanam, whether it is to the priest or to the beggar, the benefit that you are going to get is beyond our imagination. If there is a good person, if there is a good person, and if he is in need of help, if you can do Annadanam to that good person, your benefit will be unimaginable. If anyone is there trying to attain Punya Lokas, one should understand, Annadhi Prasavam Yanti, Ratihi Annadi Bharata, Dharmadhan Annato Vidhi, Roganasham Tadhannataha. It is only from the food the creation is there continuing. It is only because of food people are able to enjoy life. It is only through food Sarva Roga Nivaranam is happening. If your food intake is proper, probability you will never become sick. Probability is great that you will never become sick. If the food that we take is pure, that is the most important one, pure. It becomes pure when we offer to Krishna. If there is no food distribution, even a marriage will not be attractive. Even a lavish dinner that you are arranging will not be attractive. Even yajnas cannot be completed without doing proper anadana. Now, how we are getting this food? The whole process, sun god, Surya, he will be extracting all the juices, all the ingredients that are there necessary. Surya will be collecting all the necessary ingredients from the ground. So what happens is, Vayu will convert the rasa that is absorbed, the water that is absorbed, into rasa. And when the rains are there, the water drops from the clouds make Mother Earth very happy. So when it's rainy season, when all the water is there falling down, Bhudevi is very happy, and all crops, all plants, everything will start growing up. In our body, the flesh, the bone marrow, the bones, and the life-giving fluid, they're all coming only out of the food that we eat. So how we have to understand is, Bhagavan's creation is beyond our imagination. It is only from food that our flesh, blood, bones, and the reproductive fluids are there forming. Now, if somebody can do Annadanam, those people are destined to go to heavens. If we can do Annadanam to the needy and the deserving, there is no benefit that you cannot command. You can even ask for what type of benefits that you are looking for. Now you heard about Godanam. Next to Annadanam, the powerful one is the Godanam. The greatest of the greatest Dhanam again is called Godanam. Everyone can say, but local perception, Godanam is very, very superior. Now, Bhishma Pitamaha is saying, Tulya Namani Deyani, Trini Tulya Phaladija, Sarva Kama Phalanisa, Gavaha, Prudvi, Saraswati. It's a very strange saying here. Namely, Gomata, Bhudevi, Saraswati, all these three go by the common name. Whether you do Godanam, Bhudanam, or Vidyadanam. So when you look at Godevi, Gomata, Bhudevi, and Saraswati, that is Vidya, they can fulfill all our desires. If a person can teach the Brahma Vidya, you will be acquiring punyam equal to a Godanam. Godanam is considered to be very, very auspicious. Tadaiva gaha prashamsanti natdeyam tadah param sanikushta prasaktahi lagdharnasya yudhishthirah. Now, a cow is considered to be a mother for all of us. And if you have a cow, be confident. If you can do a Godanam, let's be very, very confident that the Godanam will yield highly positive results very soon. That is the reason why orthodox people will never, never hurt a cow. Since cow is like our own mother, we should never, never abuse our own mother. We should never abuse. We should never abuse, even if it is an animal or a cow or anyone for that matter. If it has life, we should not abuse them. Now, never, never we should kick cow with our foot. And if cows are moving, we should never go in between the cows. Now, the greatness of a cow, even if you want to do the Pitru Karyam, even if you want to do the Deva Karyam, everything starts with Sthala Shuddhi. Sthala Shuddhi. Sthala Shuddhi means the place where you are sitting and eating. It should be clean. The Godana Phalam is mentioned before you are eating. If you can take just a handful of grass, just a handful, if you can give a handful of grass to a cow before you are eating, you will be able to fulfill all your desires. Now we have, if you can find a very, very orthodox person, and more so if you can find a very orthodox person who is not having enough money to give proper food to his wife and children, all orthodox people never, never kicked a cow with their feet. All orthodox people never went in between the cows. Since cows are very, very auspicious in our lives. Tasmat pujyaha sadaivahi. Anything and everything in our household will become purified. When you use cow dung as part of the cleaning process, as part of the cleaning process, if you can use cow dung, that place will become sacred. Now, there are certain things. Who is the right person to take a cow? Who is not? Asad vruttaya papaya lubdhaya antavadine havya kanyanya pita petaya nadiyo gokshabhi nadiya gauhu kadhanchana. Don't do Godanam, Bhishma says, to the bad people. Who is misers? Who are misers? Who always tell the lies? Always they tell a lie, but not a truth. Vishnu Pitamaha is telling, if at all you want to do Godanam, Godanam do to a person, to a very poor person, very poor person. That person may have plenty children. If you can find a very good person and who is coming begging you, look for a person who has plenty children, look for a person who studied Vedas, look for a person who is doing Ahitagni. Give Dhanam to such good people. There's a great advantage which Bhishma all the while kept it as a secret and is revealing now. Yaschaiva dharmam kurute tasya dharma phalam jayat sarvaisvai vamsha bhagdhata tam nimittam pravutayah. What it means is, suppose you do Godhanam to a particular person. That person should not immediately sell that cow and make money and use it for his personal expenses. Now we have here a peculiar situation. Namely, if you do proper Godhanam, the person who is receiving the Godhanam, whatever Punya Karma he does, you will get a share from that automatically. Now, Mahatma Bhishma is telling, do not get upset over anything. Budho na udvijayeta gaha. Now we have Yudhishthira is asking, what could be the person? What are the qualifications for the person who has to receive the dharma? What kind of a cow we should give in charity? What kind of a thing we cannot give in charity? Now here comes Bhishma Pitamaha with his reply. Godanam should not be done for those people who do not do Sandhya Vandanam. Godanam should not be done to a person. Godanam should not be done to a person who left doing the annual ceremonies for his parents. If a person is not doing annual ceremonies, we are inviting sin. We are incurring sin. So for people who have no acharam, vyavaharam, who are sinners, who are very greedy, and Godanam should never be given to a person who will sell the cow right away and will try to use that money for his personal luxuries. How beautifully Mahatma Vedavyasa glorifies Godana Prabhavam. Now we have, you suppose this is a great secret, if you give a dhanam to somebody, if the other person is taking dhanam, imagine with that, there is a mutual relationship being established between the donor and the receiver. So now, when it comes to Pitru Karyam, doing the last rites for the departed parents, here Mahatma Vedavyasa says, through Bhishma Pitamaha, worshipping an Acharya will wipe out your sins. So we have, if you give charity to someone, if that person is accepting that charity, whatever punya karma that the other person is doing, you will get a share in that. That's a very nice way of doing Godanam. Still don't get it? What is the significance here? If you can do Godanam, you will become partner with the person who is receiving the cow. Do a proper Godanam, you will get the bhagyam of whatever is available. So if you can do a Godanam, there is nothing that can equal Godanam. What we have to be very, very careful is, if suppose a priest is receiving dhanam, imagine a priest is receiving dhanam. Hanuman was, sorry, suppose you are giving dhanam to someone, you are actually, without your knowledge, entering into a moral binding that the person who is receiving the dhanam from you, if he does any kind of punya karma in the future, you will get a share of that punya karma. That is the greatness of Godana. Simple. You have a few devotees here. Say, let me take a positive example and give you. Dilip is there. Venkatakiran is there. Dilip wanted to do Godanam. Dilip did Godanam to Venkatakiran. How it works, we don't know. Send a message, everything will be known to all of you. Or pass on the message that Godanam is the greatest thing. Godanam, if you do, the person who is receiving the Danam from you, whatever punya karmas he does, you will get a share in that. Mahabharata says we have three types of people who we can consider as father. The biological father, the person who saved us from an unimaginable catastrophe, the person the third person is the one is the Janma biological father, second one who saved you from a calamity, and the third one is one who provided you with some kind of a job. Now comes the next one. All three are to be considered, namely the biological father, the deserving person to whom you want to give the dhanam, here comes, if you want to quantify what is the benefit of Godhanam, it's quantified for our sake in Mahabharata. Another great dharma is mentioned here for us. If suppose you see an innocent lady being, her modesty being outraged. If a lady is crying out in pain or fear, now Surya's son Yamadharmaraja is just looking for people who commit sins. Yamadharmaraja will be just looking for all the sinners who are destined to go to Yamalokam and go through all the punishments. Now we have various aspects of dharma in different formats. Most important thing, as you heard yesterday before we departed, or last time, if you can grow your own flowers and offer them to Bhagavan, that is the greatest thing that you can do. If you go to the shop and buy some flowers, that's called not bad. Whereas if you steal from somebody's backyard and offer, that's called worst. So better in your spare time, all of you to try to grow some flowers and offer. Try to get a cow, bring it up and offer. Try to cultivate or produce little bit of grains, little bit, and offer. Everything we do for Godanam will help. Vastadanam, Godanam, Suvarnadanam, Dhanadanam, Annadanam. And the Kapila Godhenos are even more powerful. The Dhanam you do with Kapila Dhenu is considered to be the greatest of the greatest. So how did this Kapila Dhenu Dhanam come? Yudhishthira is asking and Bhishma Pitamaha is giving the answers. Go pradana gunan samyak punarme bruhi bharata nahi trupyami aham veera shunvannaha amrutamidrusham. Now Bhishma Pitamaha is replying, when somebody wants to do Godanam, make sure when you do Godanam, cover that cow, the back of the cow, with a nice cloth and do Godanam. People should never give Godanam People should never do Godanam of a very old cow which can no longer be milked. You should give a cow that has just given birth to a calf. And along with the Godanam, you should cover that cow in beautiful clothes and give Danam. If you can give Godanam, the probability is you have done the best of the best Danams. Yadha hi Ganga Sartam Varishta tadha Arjunina Kapila Varishta. There's a nice comparison here. Even though there are hundreds of sacred rivers in India, Ganga is still considered to be the most sacred river. We have to understand, as far as the Kapila Dhenu is concerned, the Kapila Govu Pradhanyam all the cows once prayed to the god of the night, moon, that that the cows are there like this right from their birth. Mahatmas have replied. Some people may say, you are getting milk from a cow, but before getting the milk, you are allowing the calf to suck or to suckle, and the calf is actually drinking a little bit of milk. Since a calf has taken the milk earlier, is it not amounting to the leftovers of a calf? Even though the calf is drinking the milk before the mother is even thinking of giving, in the same way, just as the milk that is there already sucked by a calf is not contaminating, is not going to contaminate, same way here also. If a calf is suckling the mother, it's not contaminated milk. It is perfectly all right to offer to Bhagavan. The Kapila Govus have come from celestial nectar itself, Amrutam. Now, anything that comes from a cow, namely the cow's milk, cow's yogurt, cow's butter, cow's ghee, are all considered as auspicious that can be used on any occasion. A cow is considered to be the great in the entire creation. A cow is the one who is creating employment for the people, milking the cow, enjoying the profits. Most important thing, it is the cow that gives us the prana bhiksha. Prana bhiksha. Another interesting thing is, if you can do a proper godanam, another benefit that you are going to get is, another great advantage you are getting by doing godanam is, whatever benefit you get from doing havyam, kavyam, tarpanam, shanti karmas, or offering vastrams, vahanas, if you can do a proper godanam, you will get all the benefit of doing the yajnas, yagas, pitu tarpanas, shanti karmas, dhana dhanya vastu samruddhi. Everything will be yours. If you think of it, it will come to you. Now, if you do godanam with a pleasant heart, with the intention that godanam must be done, it says you are guaranteed to get at least a human birth, indicating if somebody doesn't do a godanam, the probability is they may not get birth in a very religious or orthodox family. It is very clearly mentioned a cow should never be killed and the meat from a cow should never be eaten by anyone. Gavam mutra purisasya nodvijeta karanchana na chasam mamsam ashniya gavam pushtim tadhapnayat. If you are asked to take care of a cow, be prepared to take care of cleaning the cow also, because to clean the malamutras of a cow, that itself is a fortune. Na cha asa mamsam ashniyat. Under any circumstances, we cannot say, I hate the urine, I hate the cow dung. We should not say that. Now we have when you do Godhanam, Mahatmas used in such a way they used to make a gold cap to the horns of the cow. They used to make something like a kiritam. Some people, they make the image of a cow with sesame seeds and they gave dhanam like that. Now we have some interesting aspects of the Godhanam. The description of Goloka Varnanam. Goloka Varnanam is also given in Srimad Mahabharatam. The people who eat the leftovers after doing the yajnam, after doing the homas, and the people who do Godhanam will have all the benefits of those who do Nityanadhanam. Now he says, Rute Dadhikrute Neha. Lot of dharmas in Mahabharata. You should never, never do a yajnam without ghee and without yogurt. दानानामपि सर्वेषां गवां दानं प्रशस्यते गावः श्रेष्ठा पवित्रस्य पावनं हेतदुत्तमम्. Of all the danas we can come across, Godanam, tato ato moolancha tadyate. Since Godanam is considered to be the greatest of the Danams in all of them, and also the products from cow's milk, namely cow's milk, cow's yogurt, cow's butter, cow's ghee, they even have the potency, if only you believe in a cow and take the products that are coming from a cow, you will be relieved of all the sins. The question came, all the Mahatmas went to Brahmadeva and asked him a question. Devanam Bhagavan Kasya Kasmat Lokeshanam Pitamaha Uparishtat Gavam Lokaha Yadichami Veditum. Devanam Bhagavan Kasmat Lokanam Pitamaha Uparishtat Gavam Loka Uparishtat Gavam Lokaha Yadichami Veditum. Now comes, how come Golokam is there above the Devalokam, above even Brahmalokam? Bhagavan is saying, in fact, the further question is, what kind of punya karma the cows have done? Brahmadeva showed Indra, Indra, you think no end of yourself, and you make fun of the people who take care of the cows. One should know the greatness of doing Godanam. One should know, even if you fail to practice Brahmacharyam, even if you fail to do tapasya on a regular basis, Brahmadeva told Indra, Indra, you always make a mistake of comparing yourself with it. Indra, you always make fun of the cows and comparing them with others not that great. That's why you do not know the greatness of cows and Golokam. They say there are 4 Gs, 4 gas that one should always be craving for. 1, Godanam. 2, Ganga Snanam. Godanam, Ganga Snanam. Another G, Gita Patanam, Bhagavad Gita, Gita Patanam. And another G, Govinda Smaranam. One should never ignore the 4 Gs, namely Ganga Snanam, Ganga Snanam, Gita Patanam, Ganga Snanam, Gita Patanam, Godanam, and Govinda Namaswaranam. That's why Bhagavan says these 4 if you can practice, that is the greatest dharma that you can think of, he says. Because cows do not know any way of cheating us. Since cows are there, always the well-wishers of others, including their children, used for plowing the land, etc. The place where cows can live comfortably, that Golokam, which is above the Brahmalokam, is considered very auspicious. Brahmadeva himself says, I appreciated the great qualities of a cow. And Brahmadeva said, I will offer you a place which is way above all other worlds. That is, Trayanamapi Lokanam Uparishtan Nivasyasi. Trayanamapi Lokanam Uparishtat. Trayanamapi Lokanam, compared to all the three words. Gomata is there way above all the three words. And wherever the Gomatas are there, that's called Golokam. If somebody can go to that Golokam, there is no Vardhakyam, there is no Mrityu, same thing as Vaikuntham. Exactly the same thing as Vaikuntham. If somebody wants to achieve Golokam by their own efforts, there are a few things that we have to do, sir. Namely, practice Brahmacharyam, do meditation, try and try and try until you have sense control. Why we are making mistake after mistakes? Because we have the tendency to enjoy. You want to go to Golokam? Then develop sense control, Indriya Nigraham. Finally, Tirtha Sevanam. Tirtha Sevanam. Accepting Bhagavan's Tirtham. Accepting Bhagavan's lotus padukas, divine padukas on our head. Now we have, after the Goloka Varnanam, where the Gomatas are residing, repeatedly you heard from me that if you want to practice spiritual life, first start with Ahimsa, Ahimsa, Ahimsa Paramo Dharmaha. I am not at all concocting stories for your sake. Read Mahabharata, Anushasana Parvam, 114th chapter. You will see why Ahimsa has become very, very important for spiritual life. So Ahimsa means not hurting anyone. In the case of Ahimsa, a person should just let go all the things that lead to himsa to in any animal or any jivatma in any way. Natat parasya pandhatya pratikulam yadatmanah Esha sankshepato dharmah kamad anyah pravartate. There's a beautiful verse that says, if somebody is slapping you, you know how painful it is. If you know the pain of a slap, do not ever slap another person. If I do something to you, you feel hurt. If you feel if you feel hurt for something I did even innocently, you don't do that to others. That is the greatest dharma. If I come and cut your finger, you feel so much of pain and you cry. Feel the same way. Just for a finger little bit cut, I am feeling so much of pain. But what about the people who are indulging in violence and killing all the animals? It is mentioned we should never resort to jiva himsa. If somebody left aside dharma and is behaving according to their own material needs and comforts, they are sure to take the birth of animals, etc., in the next time. So Yudhishthira is asking a specific question. Swami, you say ahimsa paramo dharma. There are various people, namely hatva bhakshayito vapi parena upahutasya va hanyadvayah parasyabdhe kritva va bhakshayendraha. One person will kill an animal and eat. Another person will not directly kill, but if somebody gives that meat that is already killed, they will enjoy. Some people. Some people kill animals so that other people will eat. Some people will pay for it, buy non-vegetarian stuff, and then eat. So what kind of a punishment they have to go through? Now Bhishma Pitamaha is giving a reply. Mahatma Bhishma is giving in one simple sentence here. Rupam avyangatam ayuhu buddhim sattam balam smritim praptu kamaihi naraihi himsa varjita vai mahatmabhihi. Mahatma Vedavyasa is giving us an instruction through Bhishma Deva as a reply to Yudhishthira's question. What is he saying? People who want to have good body features, people who want to have longevity, people who want to have intelligence, people who want to practice People who want to enhance their memory power. Mahatma Bhishma says, should follow ahimsa. We cannot give any exception to anyone. This Anushaasanika very clearly says, one who wants to increase his muscle power at the cost of killing other animals. Niyatam so avasidati. Cannot be happy at all, he said. One who wants to increase his muscle power at the cost of other animals, that means killing them and eating their muscles to develop your muscle power, we can never be happy. If somebody can do an Ashwamedha Yagam every month, like that if they can do for 100 years, whatever punyam you get by doing one Ashwamedha Yagam per year, one Ashwamedha Yagam per month, like that for 100 years. Every month Ashwamedha Yagam. In 1 year, 12 Ashwamedha Yagas. In 100 years, 1,200 Ashwamedha Yagas. There's nothing as impossible for them. The benefit that you get by doing 1,000 Ashwamedha Yaga, 1,200 Ashwamedha Yagas. Every month one Ashwamedha Yagam, like that for 100 years. 100 times 12, 1,200 Ashwamedha Yagas. If you can avoid Mamsa Bhakshanam, you get the same benefit as doing 1,200 Ashwamedha Yagas. Another important aspect of avoiding non-vegetarian food. Sada yajati satrena, sada danam prayachati, sada tapasvi bhavati, madhu mamsa vivarjanat. Madhu mamsa vivarjanat. If you can avoid non-vegetarian food and alcohol, you will get the punya phalam of doing a yajnam always. You will get the punyam of doing danam always. Just avoid non-vegetarian food and alcohol. And finally, Bhagavan says, Vyasa Bhagavan says through Bhishma Deva, Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, tadha ahimsa param tapaha, ahimsa param satyam, yato dharmaha pravartate. Ahimsa is the greatest dharma. Ahimsa is a meditation, is a tapasya, is a sadhana. Ahimsa is the eternal truth. And the dharma comes from only ahimsa. Vedavyasa is so vehement about not eating non-vegetarian food. He goes to the extent of saying, Nahi mamsam trunat kashtat upalad vapi jayate. Hatva jantum tato mamsam tasma doshastu bhakshani. Mahatma Vedavyasa is giving this instruction through Bhishma Pitamaha. He says, if you are eating non-vegetarian food, remember it is not coming from firewood. Remember it is not coming from a stone. Only when an innocent bird or an animal is killed, then only you get meat. Therefore, killing something and for your eating and deriving the benefit out of it is not dharma subhavam. If you do great tapasya for 100 years, whatever punyam you get it by avoiding non-vegetarian food. Now comes ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. Bhagavan is glorifying ahimsa. Swamamsam paramamsena yo vardhayitamichati nasti kshudratar tasmat sa vrishamsha taro varaha. The greatest thing that we love in this world is our own life. If you love your own life, imagine every animal also loves its own life. So we have no right. So we have to think of something else. If we keep on indulging in non-violence, mamsa bhakshanam, kumbhi pake cha pachyante tam tam yonimupagataha, akramya suryamanascha, bhramyanti vai punah punaha. People who have indulged in jiva himsa, in Narakaloka, they will be going through the Narakam called Kumbhi Pakam. In that Kumbhi Paka Naraka, people will be literally roasted and cooked because of the sins we have committed. Because every animal loves to live a long life. And if we cause any kind of hurt to those kind of birds and animals, those who want to live, and we are there not allowing them to live. They want to live, but we are not allowing them to live. Iti me nasti samshayaha. If we eat the meat of some animal or bird in this life, next life, be prepared. We will become those animals, and animals we hurt, they will start eating us and enjoying. Now, in one verse again, he says, Ahimsa paramo dharmaha tadha ahimsa sado paro jamaha ahimsa paramam danam Ahimsa paramam tapaha. Ahimsa is the greatest dharma. Ahimsa is the greatest sense control. Ahimsa is always great. Ahimsa is the greatest of the greatest tapasya. In the very beginning, I said Anushasana Parvam is having a lot of greatness. Have anyone of you thought about it? Now, we are almost another few minutes will stop. The reason it is famous is Vishnusahasranaamam comes in Anushasana Parvam. Vishnusahasranaamam comes in Anushasana Parvam. Before giving the greatness, before giving the Vishnusahasranaamam, the greatness of Bhagavan Sri Krishna is given. It is very clearly mentioned in Mahabharata. Even Yogamaya works under the control of Sriman Narayana. Yogamaya sahasraksha nrapayo mahamanaha. Viro mitra janashlagi jnati bandhu janapriyaha. Krishna is called Sharanyaha Sarvabhutanam. The one and the only Supreme Lord Krishna can give Sharanagati to anyone and everyone. Bhagavan Srihari is the only one who can bless even the people who hated him. Duryodhana never appreciated Krishna. In spite of that, before Kurukshetra war, when Duryodhana came for help, Krishna gladly sent his own Narayana, Aksha, Sainyam with Duryodhana. Sharanyaha Sarvabhutanam. Here is something very, very interesting. Why Bhagavan Sri Krishna is born in Yaduvamsham, which is not having the right to rule a land, to rule a country. The lineage is given in a very different way. It says Bhagavan himself, in one of his incarnations, will appear in Manuvamsham. Bhagavan will be born as Manu's son Anga. For Anga, his son will be Antardhama. Antardhama will give birth to Havirdhama. Havirdhama will have a child by name Prachinabarhi. Now, Havirdhama's son is Prachinabarhi. Prachinabarhi's son is Prachetasa. Prachetasas are 10 people. Prachetasas give birth to Daksha Prajapati. Daksha's daughter is Aditi. Aditi's children are Adityas. Manu is the son of Surya. Manu got a daughter by name Ila and a son. No. The Ila who is born as a daughter after some time will change over into a man as Sudyumna. This Ila Devi, not Neela Devi, Ila Devi. Ila Devi fell in love with Buddha and will give birth to Pururava. Pururava's son is Ayu, Ayu's son is Nahusha, Nahusha's son is Yayati. Now you know where we are coming. Yayati's son is Yadu, who did not accept Yayati's old age, therefore he was cursed to be without being a ruler and not ruling any country. Mahatma Bhishma says, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the Paramapurusha. Now he is saying, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, his greatness is because he is the only one who is a Devata Shrestha. Sri Krishna is a personified form of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankara. If you have the darshanam of Krishna, you will get the same bhagyam of seeing the Trimurtis Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Here we have Bhishma, everyone advising Yudhishthira to rule the kingdom. After listening extensively, Yudhishthira approaches Mahatma Yudhishthira approaches Bhishma and is asking, starting from Kimekam Daivatam Loke Kimva Pyekam Parayanam, you will be surprised in Mahabharata We don't have the Anganyasa, Karanyasas, etc. as is there given in the most popular, that M.S. Subbulakshmi's cassette or something on Vishnusahasranaamam. We don't have them. It starts directly with the question from Yudhishthira. Kimekam daivatam loke kimva pyekam padayunam suvantah kankamachintah pnapnuyirmanava shubham. Of course, it starts with Vaishampayana asking, Shrutva dharmana seshena pavananaja sarvasha Yudhishthira shantanavam punareva abhibhashata. For which Bhishma Deva directly starts Jagat Prabham Devadevam Anantam Purushottamam. Tameva Chachiyan Nityam Anadinithanam Vishnum Brahmanyam Sarvadharmajnam Yeshame Sarvadharmanam Parvam Yo Mahatyajaha Pavitranam Pavitram Yo Yata Sarvani Bhutani Tasya Loka Pradharasya Yani Namani Gonani. Now, after the Yani Namani Gautani, if you look at the Vishnusahasranaamam, you have all the Anganyasa Karanyasas. But we don't have them in the Mahabharata. Somebody at a later stage have added all of them to make it look like a stotra, to make it look like a kamya karma, so that people can use that Vishnusahasranaamam for desire, motivated worship, etc. You can very easily see in the Mahabharata Anushaasanika Parva, chapter number 149 deals with Vishnusahasranaamam. How people over a period of time have changed things. Things happen. That's why one should be very careful. Always to read the original and try to understand it from the scriptural perspective. How actually the original thing is given and how much benefit we can get by practicing exactly the same way as is given in the scriptures. Let us see. I'm just opening it to read verse by verse. So if you look at the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram that is very, very popular, it starts with Shukram Bhargaram Vishnu, Yasaya Vishnu Rupaya. They're all introductory prayers not there. Starts only with Vaishampayana Vacha. Now if you look at the Mahabharata, Yani Namani Gaunani Vikhyatani Mahatmanah. After Yani Namani Gaunani, look at the popular Vishnu Sahasranamam. Rushir Namnam Sahasrasya Amrutam Shuddhavo Bijam Vishnam Jishnam Mahavishnam Anushtup Chandaha Bijam Shakti Mantram Kilakam Netram Kavacham Yonihi Digbandhaha. Now Kshirodanda Pradeshe we don't have. Bhupadav we don't have. Shantakaram we don't have. Meghashyamam we don't have. Namastamasta Bhutanam? No. Prasanka Chakram? No. Chayayam? No. Chandranam Sarvaham? No. Vishwam Vishnuvashkaro, directly it starts. See how many verses have been added. So that's how interpolations and extrapolations happen. That's why our Acharyas say, unless you are properly instructed or introduced or initiated into the scriptures, into the study of the, especially the Vishnusahasranaamam, which is very, very popular. So here we have in the Anushaasanika Parvam, chapter number 149. Now comes the question. Now comes the question. Yajno yajnapatir yajva atma vinasvayam jata shankhavarnanda ki chakri shanka dhanvagadadhara radhanga paridakshobhya sarvaprahanaidha Sri Sarvaprahanaidha Vannamayiti. We don't have Vanamali Gari Sharangi. We don't have Vanamali Gari Sharangi also. What all we have is Shanka Brannandaki Chakri Sharanga Dhanva Gadadharaha Radhanga Pani Rakshobhyaha Sarva Praharanayithaha. Then after that, it starts with Ididam Kirtanayasya. So we don't have Vanamali Gari Sharangi in the original version. Even in the Parashruti also. The most important thing that you have to remember is Na Vasudeva Bhaktanam Ashubham Vidyate Kvachite Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Bhayam Naivopajayate. Na Vasudeva Bhaktanam Ashubham Vidyate Kvachit Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Bhayam Na Upajayate. That is the most important one for the devotees of Vasudeva. Ashubham, anything inauspicious, will never happen. No rebirth, no death, no old age, no disease. What else you want? High time we all re-evaluate our spiritual practices. And it completes Vishweshwaramajan Devam Jagatapramaviyam Bhajanti Ye Pushkaraksham Nate Yanti Parabhavam. So how all these things have been added up? If you look at it, Navasudeva Bhaktana Ashvam Vijyate Kvachit. How all these people ended up in Vishnusahasranaamam, God only knows. is given very beautifully in Mahabharata. It is mentioned the 11 Rudras, Ajayakapada, Ahirbujna, Pinaki, Aparajita, Ruta, Pitrurupa, Trayambaka, Maheshwara, Vrushakapi, Shambhu, Havana, Ishvara, 11 Rudras. If there are 12 Adityas, the 12 Adityas are Amsha, Bhaga, Mitra, Varuna, Jaleshwara, Dhata, Aryama, Jayanta, Bhaswara, Bhaskara, Tvashta, Pusha, Indra, Vishnu. 12 are the 12 sons of Aditi through Kashyapa, Adityas. Now, of the 33 Devi Devatas who are very popular, 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, 12 plus 11, 23, 8 Vasus, 23 plus 8, 31, 2 Ashwini Devatas, 31 plus 2, 33. That's how the 33 most popular Devi Devatas came. So, you have seen the Rudras, 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas. Now you have the 8 Vasus, Dhara, Dhruva, Soma, Savitra, Anla, Analu, Pratyusha, Prabhasa. So that's how the entire description is given about the hierarchy in the Devaloka. If only we can follow the Mahatmyam given in Mahabharata, we will be very, very fortunate that it will lead to absolute surrender to Krishna, and we will guarantee we will attain salvation. After Vishnusahasranaamam, there is what is called a Dharma Adharma Phalam. What is the benefit of Dharma? What is the benefit of Adharma? And what is called Shishtacharam? What is orthodox way of living? Bhishma is telling, people think they are intelligent, they are not. They have to learn. Anything they say, there should be a reference. People should do yoga abhyasam. Let there be no laziness. People who are there fallen, if they leave the Veda Margam, they have to be considered as fallen people. If Dharma is only one, how come Vedam is saying something? What we see Pratyaksham is different, and what people practice Acharam is different. For which Bhishma Pitamaha is saying, if somebody is not a scholar, the person just for argument's sake will say, truth is not truth, but false is truth. But nobody will buy that kind of an argument. We should be very, very careful. When it comes to taking care of the guests, taking care of the children, it is mentioned that Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Most of it is there in the Anushaasanika Parvam. Tasmat Go Brahmanam Nityam Archayeta Yatha Vidhi. Now we have Mahatma Bhishma, how he is going to leave the body. There is a lot of names given in Mahabharata about the Parvatas, about the hills. Extended description of what all we can think of every day. Harishchandro Marusasya Pradha Dhudaradho Nripaha. When it comes to Mahatmas, Dakshaha, Ambarishaha, Kukuraha, Raivatasya Mahayashaha. Kalyam Utthayo Nityam Sanje Dve Astamayodaye. Bhishma's Svargarohanam. Bhishma is there waiting on the bed of arrows. Who are all there on that day when Bhishma is ready to leave the body? Yudhishthira sent everything, thinking that Bhishma Pitamaha may leave the body now. He sent all the flower garlands, Sugandha Dravyas, Chandanam, new clothes. And the people who all came, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, Yudhishthira with all his brothers, Sri Krishna, Vidura, Yuyutsu, Yudhana. Bhishma was there, taking leave of Mahatmas like Parashara, Vyasa, Narada, Devala, Asita. Yudhishthira prostrated to Bhishma Pitamaha, Vedavyasa, etc. So here comes, look at the calculations Mahabharata is giving. Mahatma Bhishma himself is revealing about his ascending to Swargalokam to take up the job of Vasu, because he was cursed by Vasishtha to be born here. After the curse is over, he has to go back to his job. Now Bhishma himself is saying, Yudhishthira, you came at the right time. Mahatma Bhishma is saying, Yudhishthira, now it is a 58 days. I am there on the bed of arrows. 58 days. We don't know how that calculation comes. Usually Bhishma Ekadashi is considered as the day when Bhishma left the planet Earth. Bhishma Ekadashi, if you look at it, Margashira Shuddha Ekadashi is Gita Jayanti. After Margashiram, Pushyam, Magham, only 2 months. Margashira Shuddha Ekadashi Mahabharata war started because there is Krishna, there is what Gita Jayanti. And Magha Shuddha Ekadashi, Bhishma left. So from Margashira Shuddha Ekadashi to Bhishma, Magha Shuddha Ekadashi, only 2 months, 60 days. In that first 9 days is Bhishma commander-in-chief, and the 10th day he fell down. So you take out 10 days, there's only 50 days left. But how we got 58 days, I'm not able to make out. He says 58 days. And he is very clearly saying, Maghoyam samanupraptaha masaha saumyo yudhishthiraha tribhagaseshaha pakshoyam shuklo bhavitam arhati. Shukla Paksham, 15 days, 2/3 is gone. 2/3 of 15, 10 days is gone, 11th day. So Ekadashi. Bhishma is offering his prostrations to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Bhagavan Deva Devesha Surasura Namaskuta Trivikramana Mastubhyam Shanka Chakra Gadadhara Vasudevo Hiranyatma Purushaha Savita Virat Jiva Bhuto Anurupastam Paramatma Sanatanaha Rayasya Pundari Kaksha Purushottama Nityasha Anujani Himam Krishna Vaikuntha Purushottama. Could you see this? Strangely, Bhishma is asking Krishna, give me permission to leave the body. Don't know why he did not say, Krishna, let me surrender to you, give me moksham. He did not. He says, give me permission to leave the body. He is saying, Krishna, Tvam tu janamiham devam puranam vishusattamam narena saitam deva badaryam suchiroshitam. Krishna, I know Krishna, you before you were there as Narayana Rishi, along with the Sarjuna as a Nara in Badrikashramam. And he also says, तथा मे नारद प्राह व्यासश्च सुमहातपः नर नारायण वेतौ सम्भूतौ मनुजेष्विति. Hey Krishna, long time back Narada told me, Vedavyasa told me that this Krishna and Arjuna are none other than Nara and Narayana, who were there as the twin rishis in Badarikashramam. And Krishna is saying, Anujanami Vishwatvam, Vasun Prapnahi Parthiva, Natesti Visinam Kinchit Ihaloke Mahadvite. Krishna is saying, Bhishma, I am giving you permission. You go back as Vasu. That's it. Now, the last instruction of Bhishma. Satyeshu idadavyam vaha satyam hi paramam balam. Bhishma is saying goodbye to everyone present there and says, I request all of you, try to live by Satyam. Try to live by Satyam. Satyam is your strength. Satyam is your strength. Now, Bhishma is now trying to do pranayama and bring the Jivatma out of his body with his yoga abhyasam. Bhishma Pitamaha's Jivatma got released from every bondage from the body, and they came out of the head and started flying in the sky. A light like a flash came out of the head of Bhishma and it disappeared in the sky. Pandavas arranged the funeral pyre. Bhishma's body was covered in silks and covered with flower garlands. For the Bhishma's body, Pitru Yajnam is done, and his body was set on fire. Dhritarashtra, etc., did the pradakshinam to the burning body funeral pyre. After the dahanam is over, everybody went to Ganga Nadi, including Vyasa, Narada, Asita, Krishna, all the ladies. They offered the water and the sesame seeds, tarpanam. When they went to Ganga to take snanam, as they did the Pitru Tarpanam, Tilatarpanam to Bhishma, Ganga herself came out of the water. She was just shedding tears that she lost her great son. She is lamenting, how great is my son, how unfortunate. Shikhandi could kill him. You know, like an ordinary mother, Ganga is crying. What kind of a heart I have? Maybe I don't have a heart, I have a stone. That is why even though my dear son Bhishma is dead, I'm still alive. See how she says. Ganga Devi is lamenting. How come I am still alive knowing fully well my son Bhishma fell down at the hands of Shikhandi? What kind of a mother I am? Finally, Krishna comes and consoles Ganga Devi. Krishna says, Vasureshamaha teja shapadoshena shobhane manushattamanu nainam shochitamarhasi. Hey Ganga, you know your son Bhishma is one of the Vasus. Because of the curse, he took birth on the planet Earth. Therefore, for somebody who is taken birth because of a curse, you should not shed tears. Don't worry, it is not Shikhandi who shot. Shikhandi was there in the front, but it is Arjuna who shot. And Krishna says, Sutaha gataha swargam shubhanane swachandataha. See, very significant words. Krishna says, your son Bhishma went to Swargaloka on his own accord. He wanted to complete his job. So after being consoled by Krishna and Vedavyasa, Ganga went back into the waters. So it's a very, very significant one, Anushasana Parvam, with the Mahatma Bhishma's departure from the planet Earth. Go ahead, Ma. We'll stop here today. And then we have just one more class I think we should be able to do, namely the Ashwamedha Parvam. They're all very short ones, not that many things about dharmas, etc. Ashwamedha Parvam. Then we have Ashabhavasi Parvam, Mausala Parvam, Mahaprastharikam, and Swargarohanam. Go ahead, sir. If you have some questions, just for a couple of minutes, please, sir.
Ajay, a quick question, Narayana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry if I missed the first session of the session. If this question was already covered, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, we are not having sufficient cows due to the fact most of the Godana is happening in different forms, right? Such as Godana as in cash, Godana as formality, bringing physically bring and taking cash to the same person. So this will never considered as an a Godana, right? So in simple way, if Godana happening in the indirect form rather than a physical, what is the significance in understand in other spiritual events?
Sir, for your kind information, the people who are really serious about Godanam are going to places where there are cows. They will pay money and get a Kapilabhenu. They will find the right person to receive that cow who will not sell it the next day, who will enjoy the milk and the yogurt from that cow. As long as that family enjoys that many happy moments their family has enjoying the milk and the yogurt, that much of happiness these people will get. But people are giving because they themselves are thinking, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. That's the problem. It's okay is the problem. Or something is better than nothing. Ideally, one should literally bring a cow that has given birth to a calf, and both the calf and the mother cow, both of them should be given to a worthy person. That is the most important thing, sir. Don't worry, we'll arrange very soon, sir. We'll arrange very soon and you all can do Godanam, sir. We will definitely maintain an ashramam. There are cows at the ashramam in Andhra as well as in Vrindavan. Go ahead, Amma. Instead of hurting the people by saying their Godanam is not valid, let's say very soon we'll have an opportunity, Krishna willing, to do proper Godanam. Let's look at it that way. Go ahead, sir. Anything I can help you, Ma?
Acharya, in terms of the milk offered, isn't the milk produced by the mother only for the calf?
Not exactly, sir. Once the calf has taken sufficient milk, the leftover only they will take in the good olden days. They will never deprive the calf, the milk, and only people will enjoy. No. Once the calf has taken little bit, it is almost like any child. You ask any mother, once the baby has taken sufficient milk, the baby herself, the baby by itself will take the mouth out of suckling. That's all. Same thing for the calf also.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Amma.
Narayana Swami, this is Dilip. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Dilip.
Yeah, what's the difference between the like Godanam and then Go Sevam? Like you're doing the seva to the cow. If you cannot do the dan, so can you do the seva? Have a cow and then serve the cow?
Definitely, yes, sir. And again, there is nothing as we cannot do Godanam. Of course, if you feel that things are not conducive, definitely serving a cow is equally good or even greater. How do we know that? Mahatma Dilipa, your name, right name, Dilipa. Dilipa did so much of Go Seva. Therefore, doing Go Seva is very, very worthy, sir. Go ahead, sir. Emma, any other questions, Emma? No questions, sir. All right, Emma. Thank you for joining. We'll continue next weekend. Most probably, we'll be able to finish Dharma. Then choose a topic if you want to continue, or if you want to relax, your choice. Naren.